Well, cooled off quite a bit today. We got down to below freezing. I think 25 degrees last night. Today we're in the, I don't know, maybe 30s or 40s. And we're gonna be cold for a few days. I think we actually get down into the teens, but then we're gonna shoot right back up into the 60s. So, I mean, short little period, 3 or 4 days like this, I think we have 4 nights of freezing. I think the days all get above freezing. So, you know, you can deal with that. And, you know, I keep getting more calls. People saying they're going to bring their mowers or different things. Got a message last night. So that's like 3 or 4 people now that have showed interest that they're going to start bringing their mowers. It's just a waiting game now. And then soon it'll be completely flooded. So I, as you know, have been trying to keep you up to date on this generator, and I try to keep you up to date about every 100 hours or so. But since the temperatures were warmed up a little bit and it's been sunnier, I haven't had to run it near as much for the last, I don't know, maybe 50, 75 hours. I haven't had to run it quite as much. And I haven't had to run it on that high speed. I've been running it with the eco off in those cold temperatures. And I'm really trying to get this thing to last a long time. And I've been thinking about this, you know, somebody might buy a generator and it'll last them 20 years, but it's only got 500 hours on it. And that's the average life expectancy of a generator like this, about 500 years, or 500 hours. And so, you know, but when you're running it off grid, the maintenance level has to go up. You know, they tell you to change the oil every 100 hours or so, and I've been changing this at 25. But you got to think, when they say 100 hours, they're average conditions, just normal conditions. Usually you're out camping, 70-degree weather, everything's perfect. But I run this at negative temperatures. That's extreme conditions. The engine just can't get warm. So when it's not warm, and you're, you know, having to run a battery charger through the night, you're just going to have to run it cold. It's just going to be cold. So what happens is that condensation collects into the oil, and then gas will leak past the rings that cold, and so you're getting all that into the oil. So you got to just change that out more frequently. If you're interested in oil, I did a live feed on my other channel. After this video, just go check that out. Just go over to my videos, go over to live feed tab. It's the first one on the top. We talk about the differences between flatheads and overhead valves. But in there, we also talk about oil and all the different kinds of oils and the reason you use all these different kinds of oils. And I was really impressed with myself how well I did in that. And it's an edited live feed, so you're not going to see all the rambling. I mean, I answered one question. On the edited live feed, I read one question because it had to do with the oil. But that's what's going to keep this thing going. So we're at 800 hours now. And so you figure I'm already above the roughly 500 hour die thing. And then, of course, you know, I had that Power Smart, and it lasted probably 25 to 3,000 hours, 2,500 to 3,000 hours. But I'm pretty sure that it started smoking pretty early, or using oil. I keep saying smoking, but it was using oil. And it just progressively got worse. But the one thing was, it didn't have a switch where I could turn on, eco off, you know, the eco button. When you turn the eco off, it runs the RPMs up on full RPMs. You shut it off, it runs back down. And that's what makes it quiet, is running it down. Well, in the cold, you need the heat. You got to have the heat. So in the cold, when it's really, you know, below 40 degrees, I turn that eco off, and that helps burn off that water in that oil. Well, on that other generator, I just wasn't able to do that. So that means that the oil was not doing a good job. It had water in it, so the rings wore faster. But here, I'm not having that problem. the other thing is I didn't change oil in that near as often. I was changing the oil every time I ran out of gas in a 5-gallon jug. And I'm sure that wasn't enough. I don't know how, I was thinking that's around 50 hours, but you know, now I got this, there's no way I would go 50 hours. I mean, last night, for example, I changed the oil at the 800 hour, and it had a more potent smell in the oil, and it was darker. And the reason is because I was running it in 40-degree temperature with the eco on, so it was running low RPMs. That means I was also smelling a rich condition, which means it wasn't burning all the gas. I could smell it. And that's because it just wasn't hot enough to really fire off like it should, the outside temperature. So you weren't getting all that mist going in there. It was staying cold. The gas was staying cold is my point. So it wouldn't burn off. So that gas was getting into the oil. So I changed it at 25 hours. Well, that's well below any damage to the oil. The oil was still doing a fine job at 25 hours. It was a little bit darker than normal, and it had that smell. But one of the things I do on this, and this is pretty important, is I have that magnetic dipstick. And I clean it off every time, and I rub it on the back of my hand. And my goal is to keep it, metal always wears inside there. And so if you can keep the metal, as the metal wears, now you have metal in the oil that's going to increase the wear activity. So that metal that is wearing is being held by that magnet, keeps the wear activity down to a minimum. It just, so you're not getting that double whammy from, you know, you have wear and then you have more wear because of the metal flakes in the oil. So I try to keep that oil, or that streak on my hand, less than an inch. And last night it was about 1/8 to 1/4 inch. Very small. So that's good. It's not getting a lot of wear. I get less wear when the eco is on, and that's because it spins less. But like I said, you got the oil now, which is a problem. So it's always a balancing act. But I've found that above 40 degrees, you can run with the eco on. Means low RPMs. Below 40, you need to turn that eco off so you get higher RPMs, which will warm that oil, and it'll burn off the water and the gas in there. But the key is to change it every 25 hours, and I think that's just fundamentally important. Now, since we are running off-grid, and this is it's a Chinese generator. That's what you got to understand. This is a Chinese generator for $250. And even at 1,000 hours, I mean, we're talking a fraction of the cost of a Honda generator. So my goal is to hit 5,000 hours with this. If I can do that, that's half the life of a Honda. So half the life of a Honda, and I'm paying a fraction of the cost. But the thing is with a Honda, you could have the same other failures with this as you do with a Honda. The inverter itself, the electronic component, the stator, all that can go bad on a Honda, or it can go bad on this. So your engine on Honda may be just fine, but the inverter goes out, and that's like $800. I mean, it's really expensive to replace one of those. So it's just better to just go out and buy a new generator if you're going to do that. But here, if it goes out, you know, you're only spending $250. So the risk is the same with all the other components in the Honda. They're not built any better. The engine's built better, but the inverter itself isn't. So same risk. So if the inverter lasts, then it's just a challenge of keeping this thing going with the oil changes. And I keep doing all kinds of research on it, and as long as I keep changing the oil. And I think I tried to mention this and I forgot. I'm running 5W30, and that's key. Like I said, you're running off-grid, and you're running in the wintertime and all kinds of stuff. 5W30 is important. The 5 is what you're worried about with the cold. 5W is 5 winter. The W stands for winter. And so you want that 5W And that'll get you down to like -10 degrees. Now, if you're in Alaska, you could go down into zeros even. And it doesn't matter, really. You should, that first number, the lower you get, the better, actually. Because if you're in Alaska, you're gonna run that 0, but in the summertime, you don't have to take that 0 out. My truck requires 5W. Doesn't matter if it's winter or summer, 5. So you don't have to go back and forth. But a lot of people run just a regular 30 weight. I think it's SAE 30 or SAE 30. They run that, or they run 10W30. And both of those are really, you just really can't run them in the wintertime. It's like syrup. You're trying to stir syrup up there until it warms up a little bit so you can get things to start lubricating. Whereas with the 5, it's lubricating right away. So all the things that I've been trying to do is, one, I'm running synthetic. Synthetic is better than conventional oil because it has smaller molecules than conventional. Conventional has small and little, but this is all small. So you're using the oil evenly and you're wearing it out evenly. Whereas with conventional oil, once you lose those small particles, you lose the oil. And I'm running, so that's synthetic. So I'm running 5W30. So that's good for wintertime. I'm changing it out every 25 hours, which, like I said, last night saved me. Because, you know, I was running with that Eco on in cooler temperatures, and it just wasn't burning the gas quite as well as it should have. So if I'd have ran it to 50 or 100 hours, that oil would have been bad for a good percentage of the runtime on it. So at 25 hours, I wasn't even close to being bad. It was, like I said, darker and it smelled worse. But let's see what, I'm also running that magnet. The magnet is just picking up all that metal. And since we don't have an oil filter on this or an oil pump, it's about the best you can do. And I think that's the important part. This thing's already at 1,000 hours. Or 800 hours. Most people, you know, they die within the first 500. They don't change the oil every 100 hours or so. They don't change the oil. They leave gas in it. So, I mean, it's just a compound of problems. So, let's just assume I didn't have the magnet. And I could get this thing to 2,500 hours like I did with the Power Smart. And I wouldn't change the oil as frequently with the Power Smart. That's 2,500 hours. If this, I got the magnet and I'm changing the oil more frequently, it seems to me I should be able to double it because I'm taking out the wear metal. Whereas with the Power Smart, I wasn't taking that out. So the wear metal was actually making it 2 times worse. So, I mean, I changed the oil. The worse the oil usage was, the more frequently I would change it. So when I first got it, I was changing it with every bucket of gasoline. But by the end of its life, you know, when it started shutting down on low oil sensor, every time it shut down on that low oil sensor, I was changing the oil. So it started out, you know, I had 3/4 of a bucket, or I had used 3/4 of the gas. So let's just call it, you know, I used 4 gallons. Let's just say I used 4 gallons and then the low oil sensor shut off. And then, you know, later on it was 2.5 gallons and the low oil sensor was going off. But eventually, the last, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months, I bet I wasn't getting 10 to 15 hours out of it before it was shutting off with that low oil sensor. So it was getting a quicker oil change towards the end of its life, but it was already too late. It was, and like I said, I didn't have that metal, or that magnet removing that metal. So it was just progressively getting worse. But I'm not using any oil yet. Oil still looks good. Like I said, it was a little dark last night. And running it with Eco on, with lower RPMs, means I was getting more carbon buildup too. You know, it wasn't burning the gas and all that, so that oil was having to clean all that carbon up also, which is what it's supposed to do. That synthetic oil will clean really well. So, I really think that we're on the fast track to 5,000 hours. I bought this in October. Here it is February, so, you know, we use this a lot, obviously. We live off grid. But I don't have to worry about ever not having electric. You know, when people are, and it happened this last winter, in those 0-degree temperatures, people lost electric. We didn't. So if you'll click this up next box to take the video over to my other channel, I'll really appreciate it. Go check it out so I hope I can inspire you. Stay on top of your equipment so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.